kooky, and it seems like they're just leaning into it. Like there's no course correction at all. Just leaning into the kooky.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Oh, yeah.
They go on to say, quote, "It maliciously and baselessly jumps to the conclusions that Mr. Combs is a, quote, monster and a, quote, embodiment of Lucifer with, quote, a lot of similarities to Jeffrey Epstein."
All right, let's dive into this swirling storm of juicy revelations and jaw-dropping allegations because the truth, or at least something close to it, is bubbling to the surface. Are we about to witness the fall of some of the biggest names in entertainment, business, and politics? Will Elon Musk, of all people, really be the one to pull back the curtain on not one, but two explosive lists linking high-profile individuals to two of the most controversial and sordid scandals of the modern era? Buckle up, because what's coming next could rock Hollywood, Wall Street, and even the halls of power in ways no one ever expected.
So weird.
So weird. It really is like the whole country's hypnotized. And I just think this is a perfect storm of things that are happening.
Picture this: Elon Musk, the tech billionaire known as much for his unpredictable tweets as his trailblazing ventures, has been dropping cryptic hints on his platform X, formerly Twitter, about releasing two bombshell lists. One connects to Jeffrey Epstein, the infamous financier whose scandalous connections have haunted the rich and powerful for years. The other, a list of alleged accomplices tied to Sean Diddy Combs, the once beloved music mogul now facing a mountain of legal troubles that could make even the boldest of Hollywood thrillers seem tame. Musk's latest post on X, simply asking should these lists be released, has set the internet ablaze with speculation. And while some are calling him a hero for transparency, others are questioning his motives or even his own connections to these dark webs of power.
So I would imagine if you're the CIA, you're like, okay, we're looking for people who have gone through these things in their life that have curated this kind of like personality type.
Well, isn't it just like part of the gig? Like here's a for instance, like your bit about Puffy.
The Epstein saga, of course, is a name that has become shorthand for scandal, corruption, and whispered secrets about the elite. His private island, his jet nicknamed the Lolita Express, and his infamous contact book have been the stuff of tabloid obsession for years. But what makes this particular moment so electric is the promise or threat of names, new names, names we've never seen before, being dragged into the spotlight. Musk seems to be positioning himself as a disruptor, someone who claims to know what's lurking in the shadows and is ready to turn on the lights. Could it be true that these lists hold the keys to uncovering the darkest secrets of Hollywood and beyond? And then there's Diddy. Oh, how the mighty have fallen or are about to. Once a symbol of success and charisma, Diddy now stands accused of heinous acts that allegedly stretch back decades. The allegations against him include everything from orchestrating elaborate schemes to manipulating those in his orbit for his own twisted gain. And it's not just whispers anymore. The lawsuits are piling up, the court dates are set, and the stories coming out are too chilling to ignore. The sheer scale of what's being alleged is staggering, with claims of orchestrated parties, coercion, and a network of people complicit in keeping it all under wraps.
Exactly. You're just like, it's there. I mean, it's not just there. It's everywhere. My news feed is dominated by it. Fox News, CNN, everyone. There's raids at Diddy's house.
What's most shocking is how these two names, Epstein and Diddy, now seem to intersect in the public imagination. For years, Epstein's mysterious connections to politicians, celebrities, and business tycoons have loomed large. And now, Diddy's alleged freak-off gatherings, wild parties that reportedly blurred the lines between celebration and something far more sinister are drawing eerie parallels. And could there be a broader network tying these narratives together? Musk, for his part, seems to think so, with his posts suggesting that the entertainment and political elite might share more than just a taste for the spotlight. One of the most chilling aspects of these lists, if they do indeed exist, is the sheer number of people who reportedly knew. In Musk's own words, how many people in music and entertainment knew about this? It's a question that doesn't just point fingers at the alleged perpetrators, but also at those who stood by, silently complicit. The ripple effect is already being felt, with whispers about who might be named on these lists turning once proud reputations into ticking time bombs. Celebrities like Usher, Beyoncé, and even Jennifer Lopez have found themselves in the crosshairs of public curiosity, with old photos and anecdotes being re-examined in the harsh light of current events.
I think it's over.
You think it's over?
I think it's over for him as like a figure in entertainment.
Right. But do you think it's over as him as far as
jail?
Like he gets a cell right next to R. Kelly?
I don't think so.
Of course, the legal drama is just beginning. In Diddy's case, the accusations span decades, with claims surfacing from as far back as the early 1990s. Lawsuits have been filed, naming not just Diddy but also his associates, his business entities, and even other celebrities. Each new case adds another layer to the story, painting a picture of a man whose charm and influence allegedly masked a much darker reality. And let's not forget, the lawsuits against Epstein's estate that continue to roll on years after his demise as survivors seek justice and answers. But the fallout isn't just confined to courtroom battles. The cultural impact of these revelations is already being felt. Fans are questioning their idols, wondering how much of the art they've loved was built on a foundation of exploitation and deceit. Studios, record labels, and corporations are scrambling to distance themselves from anyone remotely connected to these scandals, hoping to avoid becoming collateral damage. And the public is left grappling with questions about accountability, power, and the mechanisms that allowed these alleged abuses to go unchecked for so long.
There's people on both sides, right? There's the people on the right that are trying to nail the people that are on the left with this. There's people that are journalists that are trying to nail the people that were involved in this.
This is it, yeah.
And they've managed to keep that list from coming out, which shows you how powerful certain people are. That should show you a lot. That should be terrifying.
And then there's the matter of timing. Musk's promise to release these lists coincides with a broader cultural reckoning as movements for transparency and justice clash with the entrenched power structures of the elite. His alignment with political figures, including Donald Trump, adds yet another layer of intrigue. Trump himself has hinted at the possibility of exposing the so-called Epstein list during his administration, and now with Musk as a vocal ally, the stakes couldn't be higher. The anticipation is palpable. What will happen when these lists are finally made public? Will they confirm our worst suspicions or open the door to even more shocking revelations? And what about the people named on them? Some have already started distancing themselves, deleting social media posts, and issuing vague statements about their innocence. Others, like Aaron Hall, seem to have vanished altogether, sparking even more questions. Are they hiding? Preparing their defenses? Or is there something even more sinister at play? As the clock ticks down to the potential release of these lists, one thing is clear: the world is watching. The stakes are enormous, not just for the individuals named, but for the broader systems of power and influence they represent. And while some might dismiss Musk's antics as self-serving or attention-seeking, there's no denying that he's managed to capture the public's imagination. Whether this ends in justice, chaos, or something in between remains to be seen.
That's what people were saying, and maybe everybody's a conspiracy theorist now, but that's what people are saying about the Diddy situation. Like when the feds rolled up, with the Hummers and shit, they're like, it wasn't about Diddy, it was about if there were tapes of powerful people there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
They were the ones that called. They're like, I need to protect myself, so go in there with all the things and rip any tapes or any evidence.
And so we wait, holding our collective breath as the drama continues to unfold. Will Musk follow through on his promise? Will the lists really expose the hidden ties between Epstein, Diddy, and the elite? And most importantly, will this moment finally bring accountability to those who have long operated above the law? The answers might just change everything. So here's where things get even more surreal. As the world braces itself for the release of these so-called lists, the focus is turning to the individuals who could be named. And let us tell you, it's a lineup that reads like the guest list of a Hollywood Awards after party. Big names, familiar faces, and unexpected twists are all part of this tangled web, and the stakes couldn't be higher for everyone involved. The question on everyone's lips: who will be the next to face the fallout? Let's start with the whispers surrounding Aaron Hall. If you don't know Aaron Hall, let us paint a picture for you. He was a major player in the R&B world back in the day, a founding member of the group Guy, known for their smooth vocals and undeniable charisma. But now, Hall seems to have vanished off the face of the earth. Lawyers and process servers have been trying to track him down for months, chasing leads across California, Ohio, and even Georgia, but every address they've visited has turned into a bust. And what's truly wild is that this isn't just about someone ducking out of the spotlight. This is a man embroiled in some of the most shocking allegations to come out of these lawsuits.
Harry was hanging with Diddy.
I mean, everybody hung with Diddy. That's the other tricky thing. Like, Diddy hung out with everybody. And I've spoken to a bunch of people who are like, yo, great dude, like, always there for you, never asked for a single thing.
Till 1 a.m.
And then the freak off.
Everybody says, get out of the house.
Yeah.
It's like the gremlins start eating after midnight.
According to one plaintiff, Hall was allegedly present at one of Diddy's infamous gatherings back in the early 90s. And the accusations against him are as serious as they come. The story goes that Hall reportedly played a key role in some of the events being described, and now his disappearance is raising even more questions. Is he hiding to avoid legal repercussions? Or is there something else at play here? Either way, the search for Aaron Hall adds another layer of intrigue to this already explosive saga. But Hall isn't the only figure under the microscope. Let's talk about Usher for a second. Yes, that Usher, the R&B megastar whose voice has defined an era. His name has been floated around thanks to some resurfaced comments he made years ago about his time spent with Diddy. In an old interview, Usher casually mentioned witnessing some wild things while staying at Diddy's house as a young artist. At the time, it might have sounded like just another colorful anecdote. But in light of everything coming to light now, people are going back and dissecting every word. And then there's the curious case of his social media accounts. Recently, fans noticed that Usher mysteriously deleted a chunk of his posts on X, formerly Twitter, sparking speculation about whether he's trying to scrub his online presence in anticipation of what's to come. Coincidence? Maybe? But in a story like this, nothing feels accidental.
Rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
And then there's Jennifer Lopez, or J-Lo, as the world knows her. Her connection to Diddy dates back decades to the late 90s and early 2000s when the two were one of the hottest power couples in the entertainment world. By all accounts, their relationship was tumultuous, but now people are asking a new question. What did she know? Musk himself even threw some shade her way during a recent podcast, calling her out for not warning people about Diddy's alleged behavior, while being so vocal about other political issues. It's a pointed remark, and it's got people wondering whether J.Lo might eventually make a statement, or if she'll choose to steer clear of the drama altogether. Either way, her name is now firmly back in the headlines. And let's not forget Megan Fox, another A-lister whose name has been dragged into the fray. Recently, fans noticed that she wiped her Instagram and X accounts clean, deleting every single post. This move, combined with old rumors about her attending some of Diddy's infamous gatherings, has people raising their eyebrows. Could it be damage control? Or is it just a coincidence? Megan has yet to comment publicly, but her silence is deafening in a time when every little action or inaction speaks volumes.
Someone said that they weren't there to take stuff, they were there to delete everything. Like the real people that were in there, you know.
Oh,
like
that's
the same
funny.
thing with Epstein.
Oh, that's funny.
Even Beyonce and Jay-Z, arguably the entertainment industry's most untouchable power couple, haven't been spared from the rumor mill. Their names have been floated thanks to their past associations with Diddy, and while there's no direct evidence linking them to any wrongdoing, the court of public opinion is already buzzing. And let's be honest, when your name gets tied to something this scandalous, even tangentially, it's hard to escape the fallout. Some fans are defending them, saying they're being unfairly dragged into the mess, while others are demanding answers. Either way, the situation is casting a shadow over their otherwise pristine image. And let's not ignore the lingering questions about other industry insiders who may have played a role behind the scenes. For example, whispers about other high-profile executives who frequented Diddy's infamous gatherings are beginning to emerge. While no names have officially surfaced yet, some insiders are hinting that these individuals could face subpoenas in the coming months. What's even more shocking is the talk of secret recordings, yes, actual footage that may exist from those lavish events. Could these tapes hold the key to unraveling everything? Some sources claim that investigators are already combing through hours of material, searching for faces that will undoubtedly raise eyebrows once revealed.
Of course. There's layers upon layers. When you get into these conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers.
At the same time, the fallout isn't just hitting the celebrities themselves, it's starting to ripple out into brands and endorsements. Companies that have partnered with Diddy or other potentially implicated figures are now being scrutinized like never before. Rumors are swirling that some major corporations are quietly cutting ties, pulling ads, and distancing themselves from anyone remotely connected to the allegations. It's not just about protecting their reputations, it's about preparing for the potential storm if their brand ambassadors are suddenly exposed in these lists. This kind of preemptive damage control speaks volumes about just how serious the situation is becoming behind the scenes. And then you've got the wildest twist yet, the so-called Diddy list. Much like Epstein's infamous little black book, this alleged document is rumored to contain the names of celebrities, executives, and even politicians who have been connected to Diddy's controversial parties. While no one has confirmed the list's existence, that hasn't stopped the internet from running wild with speculation. Names like Ashton Kutcher, Paris Hilton, and even Leonardo DiCaprio have been thrown around, though it's important to note that none of these individuals have been implicated in any wrongdoing. Still, the mere association is enough to spark a frenzy, especially when social media starts digging up old photos, videos, and interviews as evidence.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
And speaking of evidence, let's not overlook the recent comments made by one of the officers involved in raiding Diddy's properties. In an interview with a conservative news outlet, the officer reportedly described this scene as chaos, likening it to the same circles of people who frequented Epstein's infamous island. The officer even went so far as to say, "They know what happens at midnight. Suddenly everybody gets quiet, and then things take a turn." It's a chilling statement that only adds fuel to an already raging fire. But what about the broader implications for the entertainment industry? This isn't just about a few celebrities facing potential exposure. This is about a system that has enabled and even celebrated power dynamics that, in hindsight, look incredibly troubling. As more names come out and more allegations surface, the industry is being forced to reckon with its own complicity. Studios, music labels, and streaming platforms are all scrambling to distance themselves from anyone even remotely connected to the scandal, and you can bet there are frantic meetings happening behind closed doors as executives try to figure out how to protect their brands. And let's not forget the fans. For years, people have idolized these celebrities, buying their albums, watching their movies, and following their every move on social media. Now, those same fans are grappling with the possibility that their favorite stars might not be who they thought they were. It's a tough pill to swallow, and it's leading to some serious soul searching about where we draw the line between talent and morality.
Everybody who tells the stories like, I saw her go upstairs, and these dudes are like right on the couch.
Yeah.
And then I go in this room, and these guys are
yeah.
like,
and pros. Like, apparently he was getting male gigolos to girls.
girls.
Yeah, that was one of the rumors, like the
Male
freak off. So he would
gigolos.
hire the professional to have with the girls, and I think he would watch allegedly.
As the story continues to unfold, one thing is clear: the ripple effects are just beginning. From Aaron Hall's mysterious disappearance to the whispers about a secret Diddy list, the drama is far from over. And with Elon Musk promising to release explosive new information, the stakes couldn't be higher. Who will be named next? What new revelations will come to light? And how will the entertainment industry and the public respond? The answers to these questions could rewrite the narrative for some of the biggest names in the business. So stay tuned, because this is one story that's only just getting started.
Caligula.
Okay, so then there's the question. It's like, can you take a completely normal person, give them power, and then they become that? Or does it take a power-hungry person that has this void that needs to be filled, and then when they are given that power, you see the worst version of them?
Ask your CIA boy. I bet he's got the answers. I bet he knows the exact formula.
To corrupting somebody
Yeah.
or to...
What happens? Like what happens to these people?
And as the clock ticks down to the potential release of these explosive lists, the world waits with bated breath. Will Elon Musk's revelations truly shake the foundations of Hollywood, Wall Street, and beyond? Who will be the next celebrity to face the fallout, and how will the public react? As we grapple with these questions, it's clear that this story is far from over. So, tell us, who do you think will be named next? And how do you believe the entertainment industry will respond to these shocking revelations? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay tuned for more updates on this unfolding drama.